G'day, welcome back to Short Shift Garage, and on this episode I replaced the water pump in my stroked iron line. Let's get into it. So we're going to be replacing the water pump. It is leaking through the weep hole, the telltale hole at the bottom of the water pump, which means the seal's failed. Bit of a bummer. It's probably only got about 500 k's on it. It's ran a lot more than that hour wise. I'd lean in definitely the running procedure on it, but yeah, it's leaking and it's spraying a bit, so we're going to replace that water pump. So we're just probably going to knock the alternator belt off, remove the fan, maybe have to take the shroud out as well, and then yeah, that hose, the bottom hose that goes from the radiator to the water pump. While I'm in here doing this, I might see if I can pick up a flexi hose. It flares down, it swishes the tiniest little bit down here. It's probably nothing, probably be fine, but we'll look at that as well. That's no big drama at all. Just if I can find one, I might chuck one in while the coolant system's drained. So I've just pulled off this lower infill panel, which is below the radiator. Also took the two lower bolts off for the shroud. Now these are just two little stainless ones. I've got two more down the bottom, which are probably about here and here, that hold that in place. Before I take the alternator belt off, I'm going to crack the bolts for the clutch fan. There's just four that bolt to the water pump. We'll crack them while that's holding it, and then we'll loosen that off, rip that belt off, and then pull all this off. To back the alternator off, there is a bolt down here right underneath, which was a 1/2 inch, which this got bolts to this bracket which goes to the water pump. That's just pretty much your adjuster bolt, and then you've got your pivot bolt up here, which I've already backed off, which was 9/16. So that should come in, and you take your belt off. So now that fan's out the way, the shroud's out the way, this pulley can also come off the water pump, just like so. And that just opens us right up now. What I'll do now is I'll drop this bottom radiator hose, catch some coolant. So we've got it jacked up. If you undo the clamps, radiator doesn't have a drain bung on it, so you're just going to have to empty it by dropping this bottom hose. And yeah, doing that. Let's give it a wiggle and a twist, like that, and then watch the chaos unfold here. Capture most of that anyway, so I'm not too phased. Alright, that bottom radiator hose is off, and I've just already undone these, but I've just got these top hose to come off. And while it's here, I'll take this cap off, because it'll be easy to get off now. So just undo these. When I ran this car up, I did just have water, straight to demineralized water in it. I changed it, put red coolant in it, but that water that's come out of it literally just looks like water. Doesn't look like coolant, so a bit strange. It's a little bit dirty as well, considering this block got acid washed and acid. These water pumps on these Holden V8s, there's two different styles. There's the snout length, there is a shorter one and a longer one. Pretty sure this one is 109, 110 mil from this face here to your backing plate. So we'll just roughly measure it see where we are. Probably just do that by eye really instead of the straight edge, but we're looking 110. Before we're already balls deep in it anyway, but before we go too far, what we'll do is we'll come over to the spare unit, the new unit that we've got. It's this bad boy here, and then should just fire this up as well and measure this as well. So from the backing plate to the snout, and it's hard to put that straight edge on it with one hand, but that's 110 as well. Now let's come back here. All I've got left now to do with those top hoses removed, to go into the manifold. I've got my light on my bonnet, and it's strobing the GoPro. But all I have to do now is just remove these socket head cap screws, come off, and then this is the bracket down here that we'll just undo, and then we'll just slide that across. But yeah, we will get this off. Rightio, that's every bolt out. This one's just sitting there. Just got me broken hammer. Give it a whack like that, just to separate the glue. Pull this last one out. There's 3 different sizes for these water pumps. I think I got them all. Come down. There we go. There we have him. So that's the weep hole there that's been leaking, as you can see. This has got like a bit of a look. It looks like oil contamination on the back of that water pump. What I'm going to point it out to be was when the block got acid bath, it only got neutralised, so it didn't get flushed out again, because the water itself, I did end up, when I first started this car and ran it up, I just used normal water, didn't mineralised water on its own, but I didn't flush the block, so that's why this is probably brown, and that'd be why the oil pumps failed, and then why that's got that, looks like just a real slight tarry film to it. This thing doesn't get hot, doesn't use water, and oil is clean, and there's no oily film in that water. That's just plain dirty water. So I think it's just the coolant reacting to the, there would have been some residue acid in the block once it got cleaned. I think it's just a reaction to that, which that probably would have fried that seal in that pump as well. So that's why we're here at the moment. But I've already done, this will be the 3rd water change in it, so it should be sweet by now. I'll probably just flush it with a hose maybe. Let's give it a quick flush. But the amount it's ran and the amount I've already changed it twice, so it's been the 3rd time. So yeah, one thing to probably keep an eye out when you get someone to build a motor for you, and once you get it dipped, acid dipped and shit like that, obviously that the shit stays in your water passages. So now what I've got to do is just get this gasket off. So I just get a scraper and just pull all this off and give this a clean up. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to rip this top hose off and then take the thermostat housing and the thermostat out, and then I will lower this car back down and flush the block with just normal water. Then I'll probably jack it up from the back to drain it better, and then we'll let that dry out a bit, and then start putting it all back together. This is a swivel housing as well, so it can go wherever it wants. It's just got two socket head bolts that hold it down. Loosen those off and then you can move it to wherever you want. So we'll rip that out and we'll get that thermostat out as well. I'll get this up. It's on ramps at the moment. Just use the jack to get them up on there. Jack it back up quickly. Drop it back down. Shove the hose down the thermostat hole. Flush some water out. Jack the back of the car up once it's back on the ground. And then just lift the block up. Try and get some water out of it. You still probably got a bit of water that we won't get out, but try and flush it a bit. Just give it a bit. I'll just keep doing this and I'll flush back up. I've jacked the back of the car up as well. And let this all run down a bit. Okay, new water pump. This is the gasket that's supplied. Not a huge fan of this one. So this is a spare one that I've had laying around. It's pretty much a gasket that I've always seen installed. Never seen one of these before. Probably very common, but I haven't seen one. Anyway, this is how it goes on. All this here pretty much just kind of flaps in the wind a little bit, and it's pretty close to this impeller, which I'm not a fan of. I could have just pretty much traced this back and cut this out and got rid of this, because there's nothing behind it when it's sitting there. It's just sitting on the timing cover. So this is more the traditional one that I've seen. More of a fan of this one. So that's what we'll use. Instead of putting RTV on there, I'm going to put some aviation former gasket on there. It doesn't harden. It is very sticky to the point where it's annoying. It's going to do the back gasket that's on the timing cover and do both sides of it. For the water pump, you want to give it 24 hours before you put your fluids against it as well. So 24 hours is its full cure time, and I'm going to put some on the threads of the bolts as well. Right, I'm just going to throw this thermostat back in. Just make sure everything's nice and clean, which it is. This thermostat is a 88 Celsius, 192 Fahrenheit thermostat. And what I've done here is I've drilled a hole, I think it's 4 mil, it's just a bypass hole in this thermostat, just to get a little bit of flow going. This car doesn't run a heater or anything like that, so this also does help when you're bleeding air out of the system. Put that back in like that. Okay, so this thermostat housing, I don't know if it is I think it might be an Aeroflow one or something like that, just a cheapie. It runs an O-ring seal on it, which I'm reusing the one that come off it because it's still brand new. It's all good, not squish or anything like that. And one thing I do like to do is just go to the top drawer and get your super lube out and put a bit of this stuff around the O-ring. It just helps it seal, and it also just protects them though as well. This is my new radiator hose, Gates, don't know how you pronounce it, it's probably Volcor Flex. So now just nip this thermostat housing up a bit better. Again, you don't need to go stupid on this, but you still want it tight so it doesn't leak everywhere. The thermostat's in, housing's in, tightened up. top hoses on, tightened up, bypasses on, caps on, water pumps in, and I've tightened these up. I just gave the sealant about 5 minutes to really just tack off. It's a very tacky sealant to begin with. That's tacked off 5 minutes, and I've tightened that up. I also made sure that I did go back and put the bracket on for the alternator. So now what I'm going to do is I'll just put this bottom hose on, and I'll start fitting the fan back in, the shroud, and put the belt back on. So that is everything back on. Water pump, radiator hoses, shroud, fan, belts, everything's on. Infill panel down the bottom. All there's left to do now is to fill this up with coolant. With that sealant we put on that water pump, that needs 24 hours to fully cure before anything's introduced to it. But I won't be starting this up this time tomorrow, so we'll give it a day or 10, depending on what happens. I've got to go back to work. So yeah, hopefully a couple of days we can hopefully get this filled up, started up, bleed the system and run it. It's a couple of days later now, about 3 days later. I'm just filling up the coolant system at the moment. I'm just using the funnel so we're above this top hose and thermostat. It's still dropping at the moment. Fill it up to hold a little bit, and then we'll start the car and start bleeding it out and just make sure we just keep this full. So nothing really drained back out once we remove that, which also indicates that it should be bled quite well because it's not an air pocket trying to force water back out. It's like really sealed itself up. So we'll chuck this cap on. We'll get a little bit of spillage once we put this cap on, just because it's a bit high. Just trying to catch all of it a bit so we don't get it everywhere and get white shit throughout the bay. And I just used that tub like that on the overflow just to make sure that I was sealed. The rubber that was inside the filler neck was sealing against the overflow, so we weren't just bypassing, which you would have probably seen if it was rising anyway, but I just wanted to make sure that we weren't just getting a slow drip when we let it up. So just so you know that that's not bypassing and filling that up. So that is how you replace a water pump in a Holden iron line and then also bleed the cooling system. It is a pretty straightforward, easy job to do. There isn't too much involved to get that water pump off and get the new one on. I still need to take this for a test drive and see how it goes and just bring it back and just double check the coolant level, but it should be all sweet. I'll do that in my own time off camera, but that will wrap this video up for now. So you hit the like button if it helps, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the shed.